Hi everyone, welcome to Clutch Entertainment today, and today we're going to be talking about Tech Troubleshooting 101. There's a lot of people in the world who are just dumbed down with technology, and I'm here to present you with some options. I'm going to go over a few things, just basic computer slowness problems, basically some like printer problems you're having, or maybe you're having an issue with something like your display not displaying correctly, or also maybe some kind of computer device not working. But I'm going to go over some basic steps and some things you can try for each of these things. So let's get right into it. So first off, we're going to talk about your computer going slow. And as I'm going to demonstrate here, put myself on here. So yeah, so this is like a typical background. This is my computer background myself. So what I do first for this is, if you're having any issues ever, you want to first reboot the computer, obviously. So to reboot, you go to your start menu, which is right down here in the bottom left, and then you click on this power button and then shut down or restart. One of those two will get you the key to restart the computer. Next, we have a hardware reset. So I can't really show you on screen what a hardware reset looks like. It's basically you're pressing and holding the power key on the computer itself. Whether it be on a laptop, you press and hold the power key on the laptop, or you press and hold the power key on the desktop, or whatever other device that you're on. You press and hold it for 30 seconds, and you do not let go even though the computer turns completely off. And what this does is it resets the cache on the computer, and allows you to bring it back up the next time, and everything's like a fresh, like all the drivers for those specific things will be redone kind of thing, and it'll help with even like connecting devices if you're having device problems. Another thing you can do is do the Control-Alt-Delete. So basically when you hit Control-Alt-Delete, it gives you an option for Task Manager. And as you can see, this is the Task Manager that comes up. And see, I have all these programs running. And on this list of all these programs running, I can force close any of these. So for example, say I look at my, you can go to this and see like what your CPU's running, what's basically like your memory's running. So this is like your memory, like how much RAM is being used and all that. You can go back to here, and you can sort by like memory and see what's taking up the most memory. So right now I'm obviously using OBS Studio to talk, and this is using up a lot of memory because that's the program I'm using. But see, I have Steam here coming in second, and like this is my Discord, Skype. So if I want to close out, say Skype's slowing me down and I don't really want to use that, you just hit end task and it actually force closes that program, and that force close makes it go down the memory usage, and that actually speeds your computer up because the less things you have open, the better. So if you have a lot of internet windows, for example, if I open a bunch of tabs in internet windows, so see I'm opening Firefox here, as you can see, and you can see that it's increasing. Every tab I open makes more and more memory to be used. And as you can see, the memory's increasing, and look at my CPU level. It's going way up with Firefox because I'm opening up all these different tabs on Firefox. But watch what happens when I close out of all these Firefox tabs. Nothing is open. And as you can see, it's dropping down. See, it dropped all the way down to 0% right here that we were looking at. So what I'm saying is basically you want to make sure that all your programs are not bogging down your computer. The more programs, the more internet tabs you have open, the more videos you have open, basically all that stuff can slow your computer down. So you want to have less of it open to make it more efficient. And then also we have something called a disk cleanup. So disk cleanup is right here. You just type it in the search, and then I open up disk cleanup, and see it says select a drive you want to clean up. So you can select any of these drives. I'll just do my C, for example, and see it's just calculating it. It just makes sure that it gets rid of all the old files that may be bogging your computer down or slowing you down, and it can increase your computer's capacity and such. So yeah, so now it's going back to this disk cleanup. So yeah, amount I can gain, I think I already did it. Yep, permanently delete files. Here we go. So I can just hit that, and then basically it's cleaning up all the files that I have open, or that I want to delete. So like I want to clean the recycle bin, so it's cleaning that. While that's running in the background, well, that's complete. So while that's running in the background, I'm going to show you something called a system restore. So basically this is something called different on everything, but let me pull it up here. So basically we have something called system restore. So you go to, it said create a restore point. So it's restore system files. So this gives your computer a chance to go back in time before any kind of, like, maybe an update was applied or maybe something else was applied, and you can always go back in time. So if I wanted to go back to this recovery point, there's more if I hit show more restore points, but any of these restore points, see when I got a Windows update, it automatically set that restore point. So if I want to go back in time, say my computer is not turning my displays off correctly, or say a certain setting is keeping my computer from shutting down, it really gives you this option to go back and before any kind of setting that mistakenly changed can go back and fix this issue. I'm not going to do that, so you basically just you can hit next and then finish and it'll go back in time, but I'm not going to do that at this time. But that's called system restore. And then the very last thing you can do, I would not recommend doing this unless it's like an absolute last thing, is to get a fresh Windows. So basically reset this PC. That would be the option for that. So if you hit reset this PC, choose to keep or remove your personal files and then reinstall Windows. So this is reset your PC. So if I hit reset PC, it gives me the option to remove everything and keep my files. So I'm not going to do either of those because I don't need to do it. But basically that gives you a fresh set of Windows, and you're able to go from there, and you're able to put your whole computer back together like it just started, like you just got a new computer. That would be the equivalent of getting fresh Windows. So after all that, that's just like if your computer's not functioning correctly, going slow. But now let's go on to like printers not working. So first off, as far as printers not working, let's go to the printers and devices. So this is printers and scanners. You can also find this place. It's also control panel. Control panel has a lot of settings and issues here. You can just click view device and printers. So if I click on printers and scanners here, I have my printer here. It's offline. Obviously, it's off. So that's how I know it's installed. That's how I know it's on my computer. See, I can always remove it. And then if I ever need to reinstall it, I'll have to put the software in. But if I hit remove, then it's going to be completely gone and I need to reinstall it to the system. So that's how you can tell if it's on your computer installed. Another thing you can do, check your printer. Like I was saying before, you just go ahead and go up into here and see it says I have one document in queue. So I can just open the print queue up, and I got the store and final script trying to print, and I don't really want this to print. So see it says error printing because my printer is offline like I was going before. So I can just go up to this 3 dots and I can just be like cancel, and then I'll delete this, and now I don't have any printer jobs. So that's how you can clear a printer job. And sometimes printer jobs get stuck in there. It's another option. And then the very last option I would not recommend to do all the time, but you can type in services, and it comes up right here, services system right here. So you click on this, and if you go down to services, this has all kinds of background stuff that goes on all the time in your computer. You can go to the spooler, which is I think it's called printer spooler. All right, here it is. Yeah, so the printer spooler. So you go to properties. You can go to general, and you can see where it says stop. So I can completely shut down my computer spooler. So that basically, if there's a job stuck in your spooler, or nothing's printing, or you're having a problem with that, you could just stop it. So that's what I did. I basically stopped it, and then if I want to restart it, so as right now it's stopped, I can just right click and restart it, and it restarts the spooler. So now anything that goes through the printer can go through the print spooler. The print spooler says it's the interaction of jobs with your printer. So if you have it off, you can't see or print anything because it's off. And that's another thing you can do. And that would probably be the last thing you can try if your printer is not working. at your house. So now let's get into display settings. So display settings has a lot to it. There's a lot to go into. A lot of times, get to the display settings, you'll just right click the background, click on display settings, and so right here I have my displays. I have display 1, display 2. Okay, so when you're on these displays here, a lot of times people are like, whoa, like what is this right here? Why am I dragging this? So basically when you click identify, it shows what display is 1 and what's 2. So the one on my left is number 1. The one on the right is my number 2. And I have all my other software that I'm using for this program that I'm doing for the Clutch Entertainment on my screen too. But say I wanted to, my mouse wasn't going from left to right. So it's going from, right to left. I can pull this number 2 over here and hit apply. And basically my mouse has to go the opposite way to get to my stuff. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to put that back. But this basically shows your configuration how it is live. Now, if I wanted to turn off my screen too, I could turn off my screen too. I'd just go to down here. Let's see where it is. So I can just click on extend or duplicate. So I can get rid of that display that way. But a lot of times you want to do this to customize where you want your displays to be and where they're at. Sometimes people have monitor 2 on the left and they want monitor 1 on the right. Just depends how your setup is. Another thing you can do with this is you can also duplicate. So if I want one to show on both screens, I can show one on both of my screens and just hit duplicate. Or I can hit show only on 1, it'll turn off number 2, show only on 2, and it'll show number 2. But obviously these choices are very customizable. This is what you want. But say you're not having a monitor that's working. I would definitely stick with going with, one of these options and trying to make sure they're on and make sure it's not just on show on 1 or show on 2, make it extend. But there's another option you can do. It's actually on the monitor itself. You got to check with your monitor manufacturer company, and you can click on factory reset in the settings. There's a factory reset just for that, and that way it'll set your monitor default settings and then fix your monitor issue that way. But those are just basic things with display monitors. And now let's get into like external devices. So say you have something like a mouse, wireless mouse here, and say it is not functioning correctly. Obviously, the first thing you want to do is unplug and replug it in. And if you unplug and replug it in, it'll give you that chance to, maybe refresh the connection or something like that. Also, if you have a speaker plugged in, like a USB device, it's the same thing. You want to plug it and plug it back in. Or a keyboard, plug it back in. There's 2 other things that you can do. If you go to your device manager right here, and say your USB device is not working, you go into USB serial bus controllers and you'll delete all these devices right here. These are all your devices for your computer that's plugged in. All these different stuff. These are all drivers. Now, you want to delete all these drivers and then basically restart your computer to get them back. Otherwise, they won't come back. So that would be something to do if the USB receiver is not working, if it's not picking up at all, and it's not giving you what you need to do when you use the USB drive. So what I would say too also is with any of this stuff, you want to be really careful you don't delete something on accident. For this, I would just delete USB composite. I would not worry about any of this stuff right here. This has all your devices in the device manager. Like this will have your Bluetooth devices. This will have your display adapters, like your display. Also, that's another thing I forgot to mention with the displays. I'll go back here. So if I'm having an issue with my display driver, make sure you update it. If I go to properties and I go to driver, it shows when the driver was last updated, and you can just hit update driver and then it'll search for an update. So that's another thing you can do. And if all else fails and none of your USB devices are working, I would do what I told you in the beginning. Do that hardware reset where you press and hold the power key for 30 seconds and then let go and then turn it back on. So this was a lot of different things. I went over a lot of different things to fix like current issues or something like that with any kind of display problems, sound problems, any computer devices, printers, or like if your computer's going slow. So all these little basic tips are very helpful, and hopefully that you got something out of this today. And maybe you can use one of these tips and pass it along to someone else who needs some help with their computer. But hopefully you got a lot out of this today, and thank you for watching Clutch Entertainment today. And if you can like, subscribe, that would be great. And have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.